Okay, welcome to Tears My Glutes, episode number 10. For those of you who don't know what Tears My Glutes is, we talk about nerdy subculture and all of that. So, let me introduce the cast, the nerdy Japanese subculture. Let me introduce the cast. There's Jimmy Glutes.
Utsukushi Inazuma-san.
Just Julia.
What's up, Sleeping Gluty?
We have Serena Lamb, who obviously doesn't have a cool name. She just uses her real name, which is pretty cool, I guess.
I don't know. I don't really have a nickname.
Selena?
Yeah, but only my high school best friends call me that. No one else does. So I don't know. I just go by Serena, but I like to eat the glutes like groceries.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that pose. I'm sure you'll make the Power Rangers team soon enough. I'm Osaka Joe. That's 8 O's in my name. I'll soon become Tsushima Joe when I move to Tsushima. So Tear My Glutes, yeah, we already talked about what we did. So this episode's topic, we're going to talk about the concept of surrogate girlfriends. Surrogate girlfriends. I guess since we're all Idol fans, there's some fans that think that the idols function as girlfriends, and we're going to talk about that. I guess we can also bring up an experience. I don't know if any of you guys are into anything else, like anime, where they have. I don't even think they have this in anime either, right? I guess they have the Daki. Yeah, they have the Daki Makura, but.
Oh, is that the?
It's the hug pillow with the anime girl pillowcase.
Right.
It reminds me of that 2chan battle you mentioned one time, Joe, where people were talking about oh, is it better to be an idol fan or an anime fan? And then the consensus was joking, of course, well, at least with idols, there's a 0.00003% chance that you might end up with your idol. But in anime, it's just they don't even exist. So good luck.
Please, it's gonna be so much smaller than that percentage.
Oh, I just threw out a number. I'm sorry. Just add more zeros at your own discretion.
Well, I mean, there have
been. If you're more Ikemen than others, I guess
idols,
they got some zeros.
There have been idols that got fired because they got caught dating their fans. So there's still that 0.003%.
Yeah, dude. They made it.
They made it and got fired.
Yeah, they're not dating idols anymore.
Or hey, or after they graduate, they end up marrying normal dudes and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
To throw away scandals and stuff like that. So I mean, the possibility is there. I'm just saying it's very low.
Okay. Back to the thing. So let's talk about what is a surrogate girlfriend, or how do you think it functions within the fandom? What does it substitute for? Yeah, for a fan.
By definition.
Thanks, genius.
It's kind of self-explanatory.
But let's say you're the kind of dude that likes to show off your girl, right? You can't do that with idol. You can't be yo, dude, that's my girlfriend. And be no, that's not. That's an idol, you jackass.
This two-shot says otherwise.
What if they don't know? They don't know. So that you have the calendar of your girl on your desk at work, and people are oh, is that your girlfriend? If they don't know, you'd be yeah.
Maybe that's your wallpaper on your cell phone or something, but I don't think a calendar would be oh, is that your girlfriend?
Maybe she had it specially made for you, you never
That's
know.
really up the production value on your gifts for each other. Yeah, alright, I like it. Oh, you have a clear file of your girlfriend too? That's crazy.
Well, you have a towel with her fingerprint on it?
Oh yeah, you have a t-shirt made for her birthday? Cool.
You have a tie with your girls on it?
Oh god.
You just whip it out of your suit? You're hey, it's my girlfriend.
You wear the vest first if you're trying to be low-key, and then when it's time to be a nerd, then you just unbutton it. You're oh, here's Sayaka's face on my tie. Well, back to the question.
That sounds like an interesting idea. But no, let's get back to what do you think they substitute for? Right? Well, I don't know. I guess first we should have to ask ourselves, do you believe in this concept? And to what extent?
Do I believe it exists?
Or do I believe in it personally?
Do you believe in it personally? Not do you believe it exists?
Because it exists. Trust me, it exists.
That's some theological stuff right there.
You're asking
so existential.
If I do it.
Yeah, personally,
okay. All right.
Because I'll say this. In a prior cast, Jimmy was yo, when I broke up with my girlfriend, it was cool to have idols there, right? So they did substitute for something.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say. I mean obviously, you're not going to take her home.
Yeah, and There's stuff I can do with my girlfriend that I can't do with idols, you know. And don't be lewd. I just mean like go to dinner and things like that.
And then be lewd.
And then
Like a proper date.
James doesn't kiss and tell. All right. I mean, for me, it was more like more like substitute friends than anything. Honestly, if I'm gonna be like really real about that time anyway in my life, anyways.
Like a
Just 'cause-
companion?
Well, no, it's just because like okay, like it was like a really messy breakup. Our friends were kind of all over the place, and so I just didn't know who like my real friends were and who were like taking whose side and things like that. So I was like, yo, I'm just gonna watch variety shows and be done with people, sit in my blanket in the dark and eat ice cream, you know. Not really, but
Yeah,
I
ice
don't
cream
know.
in all of your blanket.
yeah, it was ice cream. I swear. Anyway, I think
God.
I think for me, like as far as like what I find myself doing with the surrogate girlfriend thing is just that like, okay, when like for those of you who know me, I am also a power lifter, and during times where like this like the weight gets really really heavy, having something positive to think about it for me is like always really helpful. And so whereas before it might have been like, oh okay, just imagine like my girlfriend cheering for me when I'm at the gym, or she might actually be there. Now it's just like, okay, I'm just picturing my ocean man being like, Jimmy, you got this. Come on, dude. One more. I'm like, yes, for you. So I mean, I don't know, because like before I really thought about it for this episode, it was really easy for me. Like, no, that whole surrogate girlfriend thing is kind of dumb in my opinion, and I still believe that. But then, if I'm going to be completely honest with myself, there's kind of times where it comes out.
Hmm.
You know, because I mean, it's not like I don't know. I don't find myself doing that with any other like pop star or anything like that. You know, it's not like I'm like, e-girls give me strength. Well,
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Second guess yourself.
I can agree with Jimmy. I think like in some cases, like for me, in my case, I don't personally believe in the surrogate
mhm.
girlfriend, but I think it's like this companionship service or like this motivation service where at times like if I'm not studying kind of thing, but then like I watch stuff and then there are like songs or shows or speeches that are like, oh, like you can do it, like it's just that like one click motivation that I could search for and be entertained with and also find like positive energy from. So in a way, I don't think it's like a girlfriend situation for me, but more like a motivation, companionship, entertainment kind of system. But I can see how I kind of agree with Jimmy on his like situation as well because I can relate to it.
Let me ask Serena this, because you've been to a handshake event.
Yeah.
Like, let's say they fish you. How do you feel about that? And I'm pretty sure you have been fished before, right?
Yeah, I've gotten super fished. But I feel like, in the sense like when I do say I get fished, I feel like I get more of like, not a romantic attraction being fished, but more like, wow, this person is really, I feel like I get fished in terms of attraction and admiration for that person, not more like romantic attraction or interest to that person, because I think it takes really good skill to get someone to like you in like 7 seconds. So it's, I don't know, I think it's like,
So it's like the shoujo I feelings, not the Yuri feelings. That's what you're saying.
I guess?
Oh man,
What?
Julia sounded like such a
I don't
nerd.
know.
I know! It just came out, guys!
Oh
Like,
gosh, she's too colorful now.
I knew it all along.
But like in the sense, even though I got fished by some members, I was like, for instance, I shook hands with Shiroma Miru from NMB, and she didn't do anything for me to like she wasn't flirting or anything. She just shook hands with me and then started like turning my hand and like patting it on the top, and I found that so like weird, yet like that made me more curious about her and more interested in her as a person. But I didn't like have any. I didn't think she was any more attractive than she was, I think. I get if
So-
if that makes
So
sense.
if I did that to you, if I shook your hand and then I touched the top of your whatever, that seems really creepy. Me even mentioning this, but.
You can try with me first, Joe, before you sit on Serena.
Alright.
We can do it together.
Like I feel okay, yeah. So if Joe, for instance, if I shook hands with Joe and then instead of like a regular handshake, he flips my hand over and then started to pat the top of it, I would be interested in him as a person, but I wouldn't like I wouldn't feel like this flirtatious attraction or like this romantic interest in him. I would just think like, wow, this guy's really weird. I wonder like what kind of person he is, or like if he's like a really cool personality kind of guy.
Well, I think for me, like I've always felt that like the more you touch somebody, like the more flirtatious it is.
Flirtatious?
I guess, but it's more like when you're comfortable touching somebody, like it'll. Well, I won't say it'll lead to more, but it's like it's not like in the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
So like
I'm
when
a very
somebody
touchy
touches, like,
person, Joe, but like doesn't mean I'm gonna like suddenly like S the D.
no, I know, but like, and I hope so.
Wait, you hope that I won't?
Yeah, I hope
Yeah.
you won't. Jesus Christ, stay away from me.
Well, like the physical contact, that's like a sign of closeness, right? So then I can totally see what Joe means.
Well, I also think it depends on where like the physical contact is, because handshakes in general are just a sign of like comfort in terms of like companionship or acquaintances. But then like hugs are like more intimate, right? Because you're like you have like the entire body within physical contact, and then
Well,
like
let me
bro
say
hug,
this.
where you hold
Let's say-
hands and you.
then that's like a bro hug. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's more intimate, isn't it, than a regular hug? Because you're holding hands.
Oh,
never thought
holding
about it, did you?
hands? I feel
Yeah,
like
because you
holding-
go like, oh, what's up, dude? And you come in and you're like,
So that's why these girls won't get with me, because I use the regular hug and not the more intimate bro.
yeah, dude. Next time you approach a girl, hey, yo, what's good, girl?
Like I think all of these people are very attractive, but I've never
Yeah.
like, and I mean if it ended up like, oh, like we actually did become friends and then I got asked out, I mean I would give it a chance, but currently I don't feel like that romantic interest, because in my world, like a romantic interest is that, oh, like I actually want to spend my daily life with a person and like learn from that person kind of thing. With idols, I feel like I just learn their story and I learn like their way of entertainment, and I just get entertained kind of thing.
I'm just really curious because like for me like petting the back of your hand I think is pretty
Stroking it.
Flirtatious?
flirtatious, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I guess like
And so like when you say like you don't think it's flirtatious and you think you're just interested because they're weird, to me that's kind of.
Well,
I
maybe,
mean, like
maybe
at the time,
Serena's just really
that's what
bad.
I thought.
Maybe Serena's just bad at reading signals like that.
That too. I'm not like I can't tell if someone's really flirting with me unless
story?
like, they directly tell me.
It has to be like confession style. They have like the letter, which is like Daisuke.
Well, no, this brings the question though. Like, what exactly is like? How would you guys define like a surrogate girlfriend?
Yeah, that's what I mean because like let's say you go to handshake and they flirt with you and they say like I love you and stuff like.
Mhm.
Oh,
I hated it when they said it to me because I'm like, yo, dude, you don't know me. We just met. Come on, man. And you guys are laughing at me. They're like, oh, I wish I was fish too. But I'm like, isn't that like part of the surrogate girlfriend experience where like you feel that like they really like you?
Mhm.
Well, I think
Okay.
like for me, speaking as someone who would love to get fished, like I think like it's because like I'm well aware that moment is just like this very I don't want to say business moment, but you know, like you paid for something. It's like fan service, you know, like you're just like oh, I love you, like oh thanks, but then like when I leave, that's like okay, the moment's gone. It's not
Right.
like I'm actually gonna like carry on like oh man, she really loves me. Like I don't know, because yeah, maybe like for some people that whole surrogate girlfriend thing is just simply like how they interact with their idol specifically. But for me, I would say that like once I start letting my idols like hinder with like my actual real life romantic life, that's when it becomes like a surrogate girlfriend kind of thing, right? Like when I'm like, guys, I can't date anyone anymore because this girl at a handshake event told me she loved me.
See, I mean, you say it's fake, right? Or like you understand that it's fake, but if you had a real girlfriend and then you said, "Hey, I'm gonna go to this girl and then she's gonna tell me she loves me," she wouldn't be too happy about that, right?
That is true.
If I had a boyfriend and then he went to go handshake an idol and then the idol told him, like, oh, that she loved him, I would just say, like, good for you.
Well, that's you, though, because not
That's
everyone's
true.
like that. Like, for me, for example, like, I do want to go to Japan, and then my partner wants to go to Japan, too, and I was like, oh, if I go to Japan, though, I kind of want to go to the handshake event. But then, like, I don't know how she'd feel about me going to, you know, go shake hands with cute Japanese girls who say, I love you on the first day that you meet, right?
Well, that's when you sit her down, like, well, babe, you gotta understand, this is purely a business thing. It's a transaction. I'm paying for a service.
No, and then she'll just
And then
go
she'll
back
just say,
saying, like, my
you get it for
service is
free from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like going back to what was said before, like personally, I can see both sides. Like what Jimmy was saying about, you know, having idols as like to fill in a space for friends in a way, because you know they have like inside jokes and like you get to know them really really well, and like you joke around like with those running gags, like how, you know, Takamina's always like failing at her jokes or whatever. And then, so that's like kind of like the same thing that you have with regular friends. You know, you have your own inside jokes. I know that we do together as a club. So there's like that. But then also at the same time, like, there's like, I can see the surrogate girlfriend part, because like, you know, you have people who send them like personal gifts in the mail, and like you tweet at them, you like try to talk to them at the handshake events, and like they do say like that, they do like flirt with you straight up, you know, like milky.
I think the most like surrogate like girlfriend thing they do is like moso requests and stuff, because you know that's like actual lines that you would say to your significant
What is a
other.
moso request?
Yeah,
A moso request is basically a fantasy request where fans submit lines for the girls to basically like say on TV and stuff. So or in handshakes. They get it in handshakes too. So you can basically request like, oh, like Paru, could you say that, I don't know,
Harper's like the worst person you could have.
She'd be like, no, jikan desu.
Okay, what's something a girlfriend would say to a boyfriend? I don't know.
Well, like, for example, like Andy, our friend Andy, goes to like a two-shot event, and then he pretends to be sleeping and has like, you know, Sayaka pretend to wake him up, like all cute and shit, like, right?
Oh yeah, like that.
Something like that, right? Not to call out Andy.
I remember Andy used to like our old Takoyaki Party podcast because we'd refer to him as our good friend Andy.
That's the only reason.
Oh yeah, so like basically like something like, oh, like wake up dear, or like wake up honey, or like, oh, do you want to eat, or do you want to take a shower, or do you want me, like kind of thing. Those kind of. I've never.
A real married couple.
Can I scrub your back?
You can scrub my hand.
All right, Miru.
But so like you basically just ask for a fantasy request kind of thing and I think those are the most like surrogate girlfriend, because it's like a direct request for this person to pretend to be like your girlfriend and do something only a girlfriend would do. So like in those senses, I think I don't want to say like I like the concept. I think it's a very nice concept in terms of like fantasy stuff, because I read shoujo manga to satisfy fantasy needs. But at the same time, I don't really like. It's like that one moment where you actually pretend that person is your girlfriend. I think in those cases, I actually believe in the surrogate girlfriend.
See, I think like when it gets to that though, like in my opinion, it gets a little like unhealthy. I want to say, just because it's like you start having this idea that a girlfriend is like there to. It's like it's very one directional. Like they're here to fulfill this need for me.
Yeah.
You know, like I need you to tell me. It's only going in 1D, man. Damn it.
Zane, no.
Come back, Zane. No, but you know, it's like where like relationships are not that way. It involves two people. It's very two-directional. But like, you know,
So
but at the
it's
same
2D.
time, it's like, yeah, it's 2D, just like anime. So therefore, the conclusion is anime girlfriends are better. No, but you know, like the multiple requests and things like that, like I still really enjoy like watching them, like when they happen on like Nogi Bingos, like one of my favorite segments. But like I don't know, it's not like I'm watching like, oh man, okay, let me just crop out this clip of like Fukugawa Mai and then just like save it on my phone to have it ready at all times. It's more like, oh man, that would be nice, you know?
Mm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so at what point do you feel like it's really bad for either yourself or for like other people?
I think when you cross the line that it's like that you actually see this person as your girlfriend and you like, you know what I mean? If you don't end the fantasy within the moment and it just carries on daily where
And how would that be expressed?
I feel like
Go ahead.
when you close off all the other fans and you only think of the idol and yourself kind of relationship, like you don't respect that there are other fans and that you're not just like that you're just a fan, you kind of think that you're more than just a fan.
Or you mean like, oh, you can't have her because she's mine, that sort of thing.
Yeah, when people start having like that sense of like entitlement or ownership over their idols, right? Like,
Versus like, is that to specify like different from, you know, the idol belonging to the fans in general?
yeah. I think so. Because to be honest, those are like the kind of fans that like annoy me a little bit. Like, so as far as like getting it too far for other people, you know, like I don't know, it's like, okay, well, you know, my Oshimen is Matsui Jurina, but then some people be like, no, she's my Oshi, right? You might love her, but you don't love her nearly as much as I do. Right?
Yeah,
Trust
okay,
me. My
yeah,
love
but
for her
I think
is
it's like
pure
a love
and
competition.
true. You're a piece of crap.
I'm just laughing because like that's what I do with Andy, but
But it's joking though, right? You guys are like teasing
Yeah.
each other and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Right?
No,
Julia?
but like some fans are actually like
Yeah,
they define what a true fan is, or like they define that they're a higher fan than you are because they have like they
They have
contribute
love.
more or buy more singles, or like they have it's like, oh, like Nanase told me that I was the only one, or like, oh, I was special, like kind of thing.
Mm.
But then I would just stand there like, but she just said the same thing to that other guy. And then she's like, and then that other guy's like, no, but mine was.
But the way she
sincere."
looked at me in the eyes.
Yeah, the way.
She looked at him in the whites of his eyes. She looked at me in the pupils, like right dead center in the black. It was real, damn it.
Like, I think it's when you go farther than that fan/friend relationship, then it gets kind of, or also if it hurts other people in your life, kind of thing, or like just affects anything other than, you know, all serious stability in life, then it becomes unhealthy.
Okay, but how is that different from like, you know, say, because we've heard of, you know, some of us wodas do have girlfriends, and then
Yeah, I
their
was about to ask you,
girlfriends
Julia.
or boyfriends break
Yeah,
up with them because they
Jesus.
become wodas, right? Because like they don't the partners don't understand, right? So how is that different though? Like, in terms
what?
of the behavior of the person. Because like Serena was saying how, you know, it goes too far when it starts interfering like with your other relationships, right? But say like, what if you have a girlfriend?
Well, does it interfere with your relationship?
For me
I mean,
personally,
Or
first we
just in
have to
general,
get,
like,
I was gonna say, first we have to get an objective viewpoint of how many fans actually have like a significant other.
oh yeah, that's true.
And I feel like it's pretty low.
It's low, but like you'd be surprised at like how there actually are relationships at
Yeah.
like concerts and handshake events.
Hmm.
So
I
mean it's low, but there's a pretty good handful, I would say.
I don't want to say this is for sure, but I feel like my stock as potential boyfriend material has dropped significantly once I became an Idol fan.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The secret girlfriend. It's how it's preventing us from real girlfriend.
I don't want to see a big girlfriend. I want a real one. I just like idols too, man.
I don't know. I feel like it's like a debate between like how, okay, so like girls always say, oh, like my boyfriend kind of sucks. He's always playing video games and he's always concentrated on his Xbox instead of me. That's how I see it. So like idols are just a hobby. So it's in terms of hobby versus girlfriend.
Well, I think the
Really?
potential for jealousy is really there though too.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be honest, because like,
Yeah, because they're
There's
actual
an actual
people.
person.
hmm
Because let me say this, like even in terms of the idols, they get jealous when you see another idol.
Yeah.
If you go to handshake and like let's say like it's a really awkward feeling when like you go to somebody's lane, you handshake them, and then you go to another girl whose lane is right next to them, and they see you, you're just like.
well, that's when you show them your
Oh,
passport. And you're like, I gotta get my money's worth. All right, I just spent like $3,000 on this trip.
Reminds me of like our good friend Andy, who went and like went to see like
Pretty
what is it?
soon, like with these stories, he's not gonna be our good friend. He's gonna be...
He's like,
Well,
stop
like,
calling me out on your stupid
like-
show. I want nothing to do with
He
it.
does say that to me on Twitter. He's like, "Yo, dude, stop calling me out on stuff." Not on the show, but like.
Okay. Right. Oh, okay. But like like he went to
Yeah.
go see Miru, and then like he went to go shake hands with Fu after, and she was all like, "Hey, I saw you at the theater," and he was like, "Whoa."
Well, doesn't he
Well.
like, oh, well, like, I just, I came from America. I wanted to make my trip worth it. I just wanted to say hi to her before I came back to who I really wanted to see.
Oh, so smooth.
Yeah, but then like, what if she was standing next to her?
Yeah.
And then you look over at Miru, and you're like, you only have 7 seconds, so you can just dip it. It's
But
Yeah.
you
like,
can't say that
Come
at a
on,
national handshake event though, because they're all aren't they all standing right next to each other?
well, that, or you can just have an Oshiman and not deal with this. Just kidding.
Yeah, so like how do you deal with that? Because I feel like for
Deal with
With
what?
jealousy? With jealousy? From
yeah, in terms of idols
Their
and
actual
girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Well,
gonna have
those-
to.
If idols like get jealous because you go to other lanes and stuff, then doesn't that mean like, oh, they kind of think that it's like, oh, like that one idol like relationship only kind of thing, or that Tan-Oshi feeling?
Well, maybe
Then
it's
what does
'cause,
that mean? That you're just more than a fan? You're like their only fan?
No, I think it's more like they want to be the most popular one, right? So, if they know that you're going to see other girls, then they know they have competition, right? Versus like, oh, if they just come to see you, then you know for sure that like you're their number one.
Yeah,
So I
it's
think-
one of those things where like, if you support a certain girl, right? Like, let's say like for every CD or for every handshake they get like $1, right? So if you see somebody like 10 times, they get like $10. You see somebody else, they get like, or if they see you with somebody else, it could be like, well, it could have been my 11th dollar.
See.
Let's see.
We're all
Well, I
just
feel like-
dollars in their eyes.
All right, so with idols, it's easy. You got 7 seconds. You just dodge the awkward. And then with real life girlfriends, that's when you sit down and you pull out your glass and you're like, let me tell you, this is purely a business transaction between myself and an idol. This is just, I've supported them. I just want them to know that I am a fan and I appreciate the efforts that they put in, and that's all it's going to be.
You know
And then
when
you
you
go
go
up to your Ocean Man and then you cry.
I was gonna say, you know when you go to the strip club and you swipe your credit card, that's also a business transaction.
God damn it! That freaking comparison.
Well, I'm not grabbing their boobs, Joe. Nor are they
I don't
putting
think
their
you're
boobs in my
supposed to. It's a strip club.
You just
Either.
look. You just look when you go to that strip show.
I don't know.
I
I mean, you
I'm
can
not
shake their
sure.
hands. You can shake their hands at a strip club. It makes you feel any better.
God damn it!
I appreciate the effort
Can,
you're putting out.
can I ask that for a morsel request?
Can you
Can you
pretend
put-
you're a firefighter for me?
Can I ask you to pat the top of my hand?
Here's some ones.
You can keep it on. But please pat the top of my hand.
That's when I break out the Iwake Maybe outfit. Can you put this on for me, please?
Oh my God.
Or like I pull out a book out of my bag. Can you read me chapter 1? In a Beyonce voice, please.
See, I mean, back to the conversation. It's hard for me to say exactly how I do it because I just, like at the moment I don't have a girlfriend, so I don't know what I would tell her. I'm not sure how she would feel about the Drina making a kissy face on my wall.
I feel like, well, I mean,
I'm sure it depends on the girl too.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, it depends on the
Because
girl.
there's gonna be some girls who who are able to like realize like, okay, there's no threat. This person's just like an idol. It's for entertainment. It's not like she's actually gonna move in on my man. And then gonna be other girls who like don't even want you to look at other people, and that's just like a totally personal.
But I do feel like idols, like in themselves, there is that, like it. I think more often than not, there would be that they feel threatened.
Yeah, because I think the relationship between the fan and the actual idol is a lot more, I won't say intimate because it's not like it's two directional, but it's like you do get to know the idol a lot more than you would like any other like celebrity, I feel, because there's so many avenues where you get to know them, right? Like various TV shows or interviews or blogs and mobile mails and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, I say that, but like I haven't really followed any celebrities lately. I wonder if it's any different. Like really.
Well, because I feel like if you follow a celebrity, well, I guess I don't know because I don't really do it.
Yeah, because
like,
we don't, right? We don't know like. We don't know if Kanye sends mobile mail to Guess who's the greatest
picture of
today?
him not smiling.
Right.
Yo, what's good, fam?
Yo, dude, that Kanye is just like Padu, right? Never smiling. When he smiles, like, ouch.
That's Shio Tayo from Kanye.
He just interrupts you when you're talking.
Where'd Jimmy go?
Padu
He's just like
West.
trying to prove to you, man.
Incoming Microsoft Paint, man.
Oh my god.
Oh, so
But I guess it is different because like there are so many ways to see what they're doing. Like a lot of people that keep track of when their girl's gonna appear on like a certain show or like music station, or they'll subscribe to all their tweets and get notifications on Twitter.
Yeah, but like that's the same with Americans. So I just don't know. Like none of us probably know because we don't follow certain American celebrities that closely.
I do.
As closely as idols, you mean?
Well, when I did.
I mean, like personally, like all us four, like we don't. I don't think there's like an American celebrity that we would particularly like, and try and find out what they do.
I know teenage girls are like super into YouTubers because they post like personal vlogs, and they also update social media with their personal life anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's kind of something similar.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the closest thing I can think of too. Is like YouTubers.
Like idols being on Twitter, like we're like, yay, right? But like, come on, man. Like celebrities have been on Twitter for a long time. I mean,
except it's always like some management dude like, make sure you check out my new album, releasing today.
oh come on, man. Like NBA players have gotten fined for checking Twitter, like
That's true.
on the bench.
On the bench.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say like it only exists in idols, but I feel like
I feel like it does. Like it doesn't exist in just idols, but like I don't know to the extent.
yeah, because I mean, okay, because like the closest I can think of to like a handshake event is like a meet and greet with like a celebrity, right? But it's not like when you do a meet and greet, they're like, "I love you," It's just like, "Hey, yo, thanks for supporting,"
Like,
thanks for checking out my album, blah blah blah. It's very centered on what you're a fan of, right?
Well, what celebrities are you thinking of? Like, I'm pretty sure like a girl won't go up to Michael Jordan. It's like, oh, tell me that you'll make me eggs in the morning or something. Like, no, like you don't ask that from Michael Jordan.
Well, I mean, like, okay, if I go meet Taylor Swift or something, it's not like she's gonna be like, I love you. Just be like, oh, thanks for.
No, but like, let's say the fan says it first, like, oh, like I'm totally in love with you. And she'd be like, oh, thanks, like I love you as a fan too, or something like that, right? Not like that could happen.
Fan zoned.
Yeah, I get
Fan
fan zoned. But it's not like she's gonna be like, oh, watashi mo daisuki.
Like, yo, Taylor Swift, please. We're in America. There's no need for Japanese.
And then she sends you her Japanese lines. Maji! Those lines took her so good.
Okay, so, where are we at now?
We are at 10:16, so we still have 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to, I mean, like, where are we on our...
In our discussion.
Yeah.
It went all over the place.
I was gonna say, like, one of the things that, like, really gets me, which is really funny because, like, I also kind of, like, perpetuate it, is, like, when people say, like, when people refer to, like, an idol as mine, like, this is, like, my, like, I don't know, who's the idol?
My bae, when you say like my bae.
No, not like my babe, but like, yo, that's like my like Ota you're talking about, and I'm like, that like kind of annoys me, but at the same time, when I refer to like other people's Oshis, I always call them your, like, yo, that's your Sayaka right there. So I don't know, I'm kind of dumb.
Gosh.
Did you get a little overwhelmed there? Yeah, she is mine.
Oh god damn it. You're gonna stop laughing.
Stop that. That's creepy. But like, for example, like for Serena's like Oshi, like I would say like, oh, that's your Nishino Nanase, right? But if she did like, if she was talking to me, it's like, oh, well, my Nishino Nanase is not like that, then I'll be like, yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah, I mean.
So it's only okay when you say that the idol.
Yeah, I guess because it's
else's?
somebody else saying it for you, or as opposed to like, if you're saying it for yourself. It's just
Yeah, because I think if you say it yourself, that means that you have that sense of entitlement or ownership over that idol, because you say it's mine.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas like if Joe's saying it about me, like, oh, he says like, oh, that's your Matsui Drina, I'm like, oh, stop it, Joe.
I've never said that. I usually just say, oh, my Oshi man. I've never said my Nanase or my Maida Ami. Because I guess like I know.
Because you don't own them?
Yeah, like I've never really felt like ownership or anything. I just know that that person is my favorite. It's not like my idol.
So pure.
But like when if I've never had anyone say, oh, like your Nishino Nanase either, so I wouldn't know. But if someone did, I would just say, oh, no, stop it. It's everyone's Nanase.
No,
Or, like,
I'll be like, for example, like,
Nanase.
let's say I'd like post a video of, for some reason, like I had a, let's say I randomly encountered a Nishino Nanase video, and I'm like, hey Serena, check out like your Nishino Nanase in this video. Like that's how I'd use it.
I'd
But, like,
probably
if you-
just let it slide.
Yeah, but if you posted a video, it's like, oh, check out my Nishino Nanase in this video, I'd be like,
Yeah, that would be weird. Plus, I can't even imagine myself say that.
So what about when like we see Drina on like the screen at one of her meets? I'm like, oh, that's my bae. Like,
I
Yeah,
think
but,
that's
like,
fine too.
at that point, it's sarcasm,
damn it, you caught me.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right? I hope.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No, I mean yeah, because I do say it. When I do
No,
when I
but
say it, I
yeah,
do say it.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like anything can be your bae. That's why I feel like it's okay. Like I feel like
Chipotle's
I
bae.
think my car is my bae,
Like this-
or like my like chicken
New-
nuggets are my bae, or Chipotle's.
New NMB mug is my bae.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Drina is life. Bike is life. Life is life.
Okay, so bring it back to discussion. Do you feel like this behavior is actually like
Perpetuated.
perpetuate? I use that verb too often. I need something more creative. Do you think this idea like flows well with foreign fans? Because we don't know Japanese fans. Do you feel like it's like one of the core tenets? I don't know. Whatever.
Like the main appeal to foreign
Not the
fans?
main appeal, but do you think it's like very like I want to say perpetuate, but I
Integral
don't want to say
integral to the
perpetuate.
fandom.
No, do you feel like it's big in the fandom? I guess there you go.
I'd say for Western, from
Yeah.
my experience, Western fans, not really, because I don't think I've actually ever met any fans that has been like, yo, this is my girl, all right, or anything like that, or like feel like very like any kind of sense of entitlement or ownership, or like even any kind of like actual romantic feeling towards their idols. Maybe they do, and they just aren't as open about it. I don't know, but from my experience, I haven't really seen it. And it might just do with it might have to do something with the distance, you know? I don't know.
Or the
Can you
culture.
can you like specify romantic attraction versus just like physical attraction? Because I'm sure there's that at least.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think they're like with physical attraction, just being like, yo, this girl is fine, or this girl is like, you know, like really pretty or attractive, or whatever. Where it's just like romantic, where it's like, yo, I can't see anybody else because I already belong to my Oshiman, you know.
Hi, Joe.
Damn it!
You know, my friend. Like, I was talking to my
Wait,
friend Tony today, and he's like, yo, like, was Serena like super into you? And I'm like, I don't think so. I think she's just being creepy for hilarity. I don't know
no,
anymore.
I'm just Joe's #1 fan. So, like, if I were
But you're also
to...
Dave's #1 fan.
Yeah,
Ooh.
President Hayes fan club, too.
Mina
Triflin.
Daisuke, guys.
She's that MD
Yeah,
tip.
so
Yo,
if
dude,
we
that
had to,
jealousy
like...
kicking in. Dave, my rival, called me annoying.
Okay, so if we were to, like, use me and Joe as
No,
an
let's
example...
not do that. Let's stick with the topic of foreign fans, like, because you guys haven't met like anybody that's like totally into like. I can
I feel like
for me I can
90%
name a couple, and like some of them you guys, or one of them I think you guys know.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'd say it's
Right.
that deep, but like it feels like it is. I'm not gonna call them out.
Yeah, don't. But I'm just trying to think. Do I really know anyone? Like, but then even okay. So let's say I do know like one or two. That's still like just one or two versus like the majority of people who are Idol fans that I know. You know what I mean? So I mean, I can assume that, like, I guess it's safe to assume that it exists, but I don't want to say that like it's overwhelmingly like evident in the fandom.
Yeah,
Which
the
begs
thing
question-
is.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. The thing,
Well-
like, yeah, I don't know what your experience is before. Okay, sorry, Jesus.
Sorry, second, no. Well, I was gonna say, which begs the question, like, if there's only, like, so many people who actually have that kind of appeal, like, with, for the idols of serving as surrogate girlfriends, then why are there so many people who don't have, like, who aren't dating people?
Because it's hard and I'm busy, Julia. All right, I'm in school right now. I have powerlifting. Like, I just don't have the time. Right?
I only have time for idols and no girlfriends, man.
I was gonna say, like, it's pretty, like, if you meet people through your hobbies, this is not like a hobby you're gonna find a lot of girls in.
Yeah, it is a very shallow pool.
You found me, Joe.
Damn it, Serena.
But
She's totally not into me.
um,
She's just fascinated and thinks I'm weird.
But
Did you-
how do I feel? I feel like if I did meet someone, I would. I mean, I'm not gonna. I would tell them my opinion. I think, oh, like, dude, I don't really think you should get into the fandom for that reason because, you know, it's just like a fantasy kind of thing. But if they know it's a fantasy, then that's fine. I'm gonna respect their. I mean, I'm gonna respect their opinion either way, or like their interests either way. But the only thing I can do is like put my opinion out and hope that it's not like so far that it becomes unhealthy or like it affects their potential to meet other people and be in other relationships.
Well, I mean, like, I showed you guys my example in a private chat, so.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, like that's.
Like, I
all
don't want you
can
guys
do.
to. I don't want you guys to form opinions about them. I just
Right.
want to know, like, do you feel like it's there within the forum?
I do
Yeah, no, I
believe
just
it's
don't-
there.
Yes.
I just don't think it's fair to say that like just because a lot of fans are single that's the reason why.
Right.
Like,
But I do think that's kind of like that's also one of the factors or one of the services that it provides.
Well,
I mean,
I-
I might not agree with it, but it's still like
Mhm.
a possible service that is promoted and actually, you know, there.
if anything, I feel like it's more attributed to the fact that idol fans are stigmatized with like this image of like depending on these girls as surrogate girlfriends,
Right.
you know. Because I mean, at least like, you know, with my female friends that I'm like, you know, comfortable talking about idols and stuff with, like, you know, they're like that's their opinion that they have, or at least initially before we really talk about it, that they think, oh, because I'm an idol fan, like, you know, I'm not interested in dating real girls. I just want to like spend all my time with this, and it's just, you know, not really the case. And so I feel like, yeah, so if I don't know, my friends who aren't really into J-pop or K-pop or any kind of Asian pop culture, things like that, have this idea, I wouldn't be surprised if most of like the people you meet would have the same kind of an idea.
Right. And that's what I was kind of like asking about, because like, you know, we already mentioned like of all the people that we know personally among like the foreign fans, like not too many of them like think of their idols as like a surrogate girlfriend. and then ending it for some reason.
Yeah, I was just curious to know, like, if you guys knew anybody else.
I can't think.
But then again, like, I know you go. I know Julia's new. Jimmy's not that social yet.
That's his main problem. He's not social.
I am a very social person.
Man, yeah, like I.
Just not. Maybe I'm so social I don't have time for Twitter.
Man, Jimmy, like, Jimmy caught me out on this, like, last night, but there was, like, this one tweet that said, where girls were like, oh, I don't want a boyfriend because, like, I just don't. And then one person commented, like, oh, you guys don't want boyfriends because you can't get one. And I, like, I blew up, and I was like, what the hell? That's so dumb because, like, I just got asked out the other day, but I said no because I didn't want one. And then Jimmy was like, chill, humble tweet, Serena.
Yeah, sick humble brag, Serena.
Humble brag tweet, Serena.
Good job.
But, like, see, like, I don't think I'm into this hobby because I need, like, a companionship or like, a surrogate girlfriend or anything. I'm just in it because it's entertainment and I find admiration in it. And
Yeah,
I don't think
I feel like
it
all of
affects
us.
my dating life either.
I feel like all of us had said that at one point or another. Like, again, I'm not into. That's why I was asking if you knew anybody that was.
Yeah, I do, but I mean, I don't disrespect them any less than I do. Because I
disrespect them.
or I don't find them like
Any less.
less.
She already does disrespect them a certain amount.
Man, no, but I
Yeah,
don't.
I'm just picking on your choice of words.
Yeah, okay.
You haven't lost
I
any
did not
respect
lose
for
any
that.
respect than I already had when I first met them. But I do think like they're into things because they're into things and they have reasons for it. The only thing I can do is give opinions. And if they are into it, then that's just one other appeal, I guess, to like the service.
So
Yeah, 'cause-
basically, what you're saying is like to each his own, but it's not personally for you.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, okay, let's say some person is like really into this girl as their like surrogate girlfriend, like she is mine. Like, I mean, that's cool. I mean, as long as they're happy. But like, if I'm gonna be completely honest, that's not really the kind of fan I like talking about stuff with because it's just like, I don't know, it just gets way too personal, you know, about everything. Like
I wouldn't really talk to that person much just because we're on like two different interest levels.
Yeah, yeah.
anyways.
Like, okay, it's
So,
like kind of like
wouldn't
what Joe
have that
said.
common
Like,
interest.
yeah, it's kind of like what Joe said. We mentioned this on the podcast before. It's like just because we both like the same thing doesn't mean we're gonna gel as people, you know. And so like, and then in the same way, it's like just because we like the same thing doesn't mean we like them for the same reasons or in the same way.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's like we have friends that are like super into Gravure, and that's not really my bag or like what I care about with idols. Like, I mean, I still enjoy it, but I don't like want to sit down all day and talk about Gravure, you know. Like,
Well, why talk when you?
yeah, damn it, no. Like, you're so hot.
To each his own, right? That's what you said.
Damn it, Joe.
All right. Well, lastly, I guess the one thing I want to talk about is: do you feel like the concept of idols supports this behavior and like actually promotes this behavior? Do you feel like that happens? I mean, the number one example I can give is that one time on AKB when they had that baby maker. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Where we sent in the
Okay.
photo.
Yeah, you can send in your photo, and it would like make a like a mishmash of your face with your Oshimin's face.
Oh, got it.
Oh, this is what your baby would look like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, but like, I mean, people do that now with like Tom Cruise and what's his face, Channing Tatum. Like, I want to know what my baby would look like if I had babies with Channing Tatum.
Me too. Oh, what? What?
No,
I mean,
well,
no,
I
I think-
feel like it's different because the concept of idols is different.
Right.
We
Well,
talked
there's, like,
about this before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like the whole no dating thing because then you can imagine your dating.
Yeah. Kenny in our chat mentioned that like a lot of people might think of the surrogate girlfriend thing because of like the love band, and I think that actually has a huge part to play with it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we see a lot of fans taking it really personally when their Oshimin or their favorite idols like get involved in like love scandals and stuff like that. You know, like I feel like fans react worse to that than when they actually break a law, like underage drinking or something. Like, and that probably has a lot to do with it. Oh God, yeah, yeah. I guess I do know a few people. So I know that I like
Well,
thought
like,
about specific.
well, I'm
instances.
totally not into the surrogate girlfriend, but like when they break love band, I'm like pretty offended.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like,
That's
talking
kind of
about,
weird
yeah.
if you think about it. Oh, I am kind of weird if you think about it.
Would you say you're more offended than when they break like an actual like national law, like drinking underage and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, like, I drank underage. I'm sure you did. I'm sure Serena does. I'm sure like Julia did. So I don't really care about that.
Man, like
And I see two Julias.
well, yeah, like for us, we don't really care about underage drinking, but they actually do care about underage drinking more than relationship stuff, I believe.
I feel like the
breaking a
business
law
does.
instead of breaking a contract rule, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Like I feel like as like what like the management will do in response to that is more severe. But as far as like what fan reactions are, it's always, in my opinion, from what I've seen, much worse when they do break like a love ban rule.
Well, I mean, the same thing is true here. Like Tiger Woods cheating on his wife, pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't care if Justin Bieber has a girlfriend.
Like I think it was a bigger deal than like people getting convicted of drunk driving.
I think there's like a cultural difference there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like different people may see that differently too.
But anyway, back to the original question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it perpetuate?
Yeah. Perpetuate. There's that word again.
Or wait, I came up with synonyms. Hold on. Prolong.
Thank you, thesaurus.com.
Carry on.
I mean, certainly. I mean,
it does.
if we're gonna be honest about it, I mean, okay, like an idle handshake event, like we mentioned, versus like a meet and greet. You don't have like them just coming up, like you coming up and like, oh, daisuke, you know.
Right.
Which is funny because like that's how I view a handshake as meet and greet. I'm like, oh, cool, I get to meet them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'd say this, I'd be like, yo, dude, like if LaDainian Thompson had a handshake event, like I'd totally go.
Oh, dude, let's go, man.
I
go with you.
I think also sometimes the setup is different in itself. Like I've been to I went to like a brief meet and greet for like what's his name, that guy that played Dwight on The Office.
Oh, you too?
Rainn Wilson.
And so like because he did a talk at my school and there was like a meet and greet section and like there's like in that setup there's just a huge line and then there's like people right behind you and then like you like shake hands with them or whatever and you like he sends you a book. First, like, you go to, like, the Kobetsu, like, private handshakes, right? And then it's, like, a booth, right? And there's, like, privacy, even though there's, like, that one guy, right?
Yeah.
But it's, like, it's kind of, like, because you're alone, and there's, aside from the guy who's timing your 7 seconds or whatever, right?
Standing
like,
right behind you, dude.
Well, because and also, like,
with his hands like this, so you can't just pull it.
Hovering around you. So romantic, guys.
That's how
But,
Hyper's date went.
So that can be a little different, like just like the feeling itself. Because I mean, you don't see him; he's behind you.
Well, also, I feel like the topic is like a meet and greet or any kind of like other thing. It's usually more about the work, right? That they put out than whereas like with the idle handshake, it tends to be about like you and them sometimes, a lot of times. You know.
Yeah.
So even though you might come in with this expectation like, oh, I'm seeing this like a meet and greet, which I'm sure a lot of people do. I'm sure there's a lot of people who also go for that like one-on-one you and me interaction with the idols. You know.
It's funny because like Julia, I also went to see Rainn Wilson. Well, I didn't. It wasn't me, but like my brother wanted to go, and like he had to buy his book in order to get it signed and get a picture with him. So. But like to me, it's kind of the same concept, and you get more. There's nobody like timing how much time you got. Like you'd sign a book, you'd say a few words, you'd like, what's your name? It was like, and then he'd make fun of your name. And then like, I'd stand aside, like, oh, can I take a picture? Yeah, sure, okay. We take pictures and everything. Like, oh, that's pretty relaxing, cool.
Rainn Wilson, Kamitayo.
Yeah, dude, I just like I remember like I met one of my favorite comic book writers, like Grant Morrison at Comic-Con, and then we got to talk, and it was just all about the comics though, It was just like, hey, I really enjoyed your work on All-Star Superman. Like, oh, cool, thanks, man. You get to see more of that when I do Action Comics, blah, blah, blah. It's not like, oh, hey, man, I really love your work on Action Comics. I love you. I wish he'd say that, but he didn't.
I also had a, what is it? I went to a signing when Elton Brand was in the Clippers. And
Oh,
then,
sorry. I
and
thought you
then-
said Alton Brown. Like,
no.
at first, I got really excited for Good Eats.
One of my friends actually appeared on, was it Iron Chef America or whatever?
Nice.
Hmm.
Anyway,
What's the
But
question?
back
What's
to
the question again?
topic. Like, does the image of idols
does it
Carry
support?
on.
sustain
this-
the idea of the surrogate girlfriend?
Yeah, and so like for what the current thread we're on is that we're talking about like how does a handshake compare with like a standard meet and greet?
Mhm.
And then
In like Western culture or wherever.
I don't know, like I still feel like it's kind of the same, but like people are just weirder, right?
Mm.
That's true.
No, but then like I do like what Jimmy said, how it's about like the product that they put out, right? Like for Rainn Wilson, he put out a book.
Hmm.
I forgot why Elton Brand did his thing, but he was signing like photos and stuff.
Mm.
You know,
Well, maybe like
Like-
I feel like some people go to like handshake events to be noticed, versus like you don't really do that at a meet and greet.
yeah, and like
Joke's on you. I want Grant Morrison to remember me. Grant, please.
I was just thinking about like Jimmy like saying like, oh, it's about like the work that they put out, and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you don't go up to like all these different girls' handshake events like, man, I really enjoyed that single. It's very a great musical quality to it.
Drina, I listened to that first line of Buki Otayo like 80 times.
Fantastic product, ma'am.
But I mean, you can kind of do that though. Like you say, oh, you know, you're really funny on this show, or
Yeah, that's what I
like,
usually do.
that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the event isn't
Focus
promoting
on
a
that.
product. It's
Right.
It's
The
just
person.
the product is the handshake. It comes with a CD.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Hi, Serena.
That is. Should Julie and I leave?
Uh,
Like, are we getting in the way of something?
Surrogate girlfriend thing going on strong. Well, we have to wrap it up. So if you have anything to say, Serena, because you haven't said anything yet. Maybe
No.
because you're lagging.
Well, I was gonna say like, I mean, she didn't have anything to say, so like the whole like you know, like dressing up in like swimsuits thing. It's I feel like that kind of perpetuates that whole surrogate girlfriend thing, because then it's like, oh, you know,
Swimsuits?
they're like basically like almost like underwear, right, or lingerie, and who
Kate
else are you
Upton
gonna
posted
see
in
lingerie?
Sports Illustrated in the swimsuit edition. I don't think Kate Upton's my girlfriend though.
Yeah, to me it's actually the opposite. Like when they appear in like swimsuits, I'm like, yeah, I mean like they're not just gonna hang out in the living room in a swimsuit like your girlfriend wouldn't. Maybe if she was.
Yeah, it's when they post pictures on their blogs in like their sweats and t-shirts, and they're like, "Oh, I just got out of bed." That's when it gets like girlfriendy.
Yeah, or like pictures of them like before they're sleeping. It's like, yeah, that's girlfriendy.
When
Stuff
they
like
schlub it, or like
Yeah.
when they take pictures and they're in bed, they're like laying down and they're like, oh, good night everybody, and then
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
selfie, like
okay.
Because that's like, I don't know, like that's things like my girlfriend actually used to do. It was like, oh, like I'm going to like, you know, good night, girlfriend picture thing right before I go to sleep things. You know, like that's like, yeah, that's girlfriendy stuff. But like,
they caught me
music-y?
sleeping.
yeah, they caught me sleeping. Click. No, but you know, like music-y stuff. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, that to me that's more celebrity stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if I agree with that, but okay.
I
That's
mean,
my opinion.
I've seen these gravure shoots. I don't know like anybody whose girlfriend dresses like that in those situations.
But like sometimes they do like sometimes they do like these like really like fantasy type themes. Like, oh, it's like kind of like a wifey type or like wedding type theme. She's like in like wedding dress type stuff or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That's like
And
that's
that's
just like
more-
modeling though. You know, like I don't know. That's where we differ, I guess, in opinions. 'Cause I just feel like-
there is certain stuff. I'll because I want Serena in this discussion because she just frowns on camera all the time. But like that one shoot
I'm
with
smiling.
that one Nogizaka shoot where they all had like the towel.
Yes.
The what?
The towel shot here. Let me
the towel shot for the Nogizaka girls.
let me put it
They're
up
all like
for-
sharing that one big towel.
for our viewers.
Oh, the on cover.
We should do that for our club
Right?
book, guys.
Jesus Christ, no!
That'd be so funny.
Come on, Joe, you and me, man. Let's get in that towel. Here,
Wait, but
this,
what
I think
about
I'm
that?
leaving on Saturday.
this photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what about it?
Like, do you feel like it's more model-y, or do you feel like it's more girlfriend? Well, I don't know if it's girlfriendy because there's 5 of them. And
Yeah,
I
Okay,
don't,
well,
I don't think
well,
most
if you
people have 5
just block
girlfriends.
out everyone except for Nanasi, or whoever appeals to you most physically in that way.
Or maybe you're going on like a quadruple.
God damn it, Jimmy.
Quadruple.
There you go.
It's
Is
so
it girlfriendy?
blurry. It's so blurry.
There's
Just
no
like real
I don't know,
girlfriends.
I've never had a blurry girlfriend before.
Well, like, I mean, romantic interest.
Well, maybe you didn't film a chat with her. Okay, anyway.
I guess like in that sense, I was like, oh wow, that's like a really like scandalous, flirtatious like photo shoot. But I never, like, I just thought like, oh, look at you, you kind of look naked, but I know you're not. Kind of thing. I never was
Just
like
real girlfriends.
Just like real girlfriends. Are you naked? I
Like,
never know.
I don't know. Maybe
said
I'm
you're going
just, like,
commando.
weird, but
Like,
like
no, you're
I've
not.
done. Man, I feel like I've done that stuff with my friends before though. Like
You
know, like, when
send your
send a
friends
picture-
towel photos like this? What
No, yeah, like I remember like
I
some of
have.
in the yearbook, some of my female friends like did like fake nudes where like they
Yeah.
they just had pillows and stuff like that. They're sitting over the couch and pretending to be naked and
Yeah.
would hold blankets and stuff.
Or like I take a picture of my elbow right here and I'm just like, look at my booty. And then I take like a second photo of it like from far out. It's like JK's an elbow.
But
You know
that's
what I
different.
mean?
They're actually like just covering themselves with a towel.
Okay,
But-
I don't know what we're talking about anymore, especially how it relates to surrogate girlfriend. So let's end it here because I need to pick up my
Yeah,
pizza.
Yeah, Joe needs to get his pizza.
I know.
I have never had my girlfriend send me a picture of her in towels with her friends. And this has been Tear My Glutes, episode 10.
Surrogate pizza. Gotta go
Surrogate
pick it
pizza.
up. Unfortunately, Jimmy, Julia, and Serena are not surrogates for pizza. I'm really hungry, and I'm gonna miss American
You can
pizza.
go get a salad.
Well, good night, everyone. Thanks for
But
watching.
no, that's really sudden. We need a proper closeout. So this is episode number 10 of Tears My Glutes. Again, the topic was surrogate girlfriend. I hope you learned something. I did not really. It was actually hilarious though. I had a lot of fun.
I had fun.
Well, it's
Did you have
good
fun?
because this might be your last episode, Joe, at least for.
It could be. Well, we could do the pre-recorded episodes instead of doing the live broadcast. So that's always an option too.
That is.
So we'll think about that. If you have any questions or comments, which we keep saying, but we never get any, so whatever. Go fuck yourselves.
Jesus Christ. I know we always put out the option. No one ever says anything. God damn it, guys.
One of these days, someone will say something.
Just
I'll
maybe
say
we should make it a
something,
challenge. We should make it a challenge. Give us a topic to talk about, and then we'll try it.
No,
What
what we
like
should
to talk about, and on our next show, Joe will show some nipple.
what we should do would be like, oh, if you send us, like, we'll pick a random drawing and you'll get like a photo or something. But then all of us are too lazy to go to the post office and actually do that. So this is the end of Tears My Glutes, episode number 10.
Send us a photo, a question, right, Drina?
I hope you enjoyed it. Again, joining me is Jimmy, Julia, and Serena. I'm Osaka Joe. I will turn into Tsushima Joe. Okay, good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right.